Hello everyone, Shintobean here playing some more Warhammer combat cards, and if you update the game to the latest version, you will notice that the wintry theme is now gone, and it has been replaced with this new one where everything has this reddish tinge. If we go over to the shop, we have a brand new card here. This is now the most expensive card for the Servants of the Emperor, and it is the Baneblade. 104 point card, and it is just a massive legendary bodyguard. And yeah, that is at max level. Has 162 ranged attack with both Big Game Hunter and Barrage. It has a melee attack and just a crazy amount of health. And actually this week, we have possibly the most boring campaign ever. Because there seems to be some sort of weird, I don't know if it was intentional, but apparently the AI only has a pool of like 8 bodyguards for the entire campaign. So you're just facing the exact same bodyguards every single match. It should be more interesting because everything is set to max level. You got 400 points available, and you can only use cards with a point cost of 20 or more. So those are pretty fun modifiers, I think. But we also have the weather condition modifier, which it doesn't really show up there, but if you look here, volatile conditions, that's the one where it cycles through sunny, cloudy, and rainy, and affects your attack types. And that is one of the least fun modifiers to use. I'm not a big fan of it. But because we're using that, and also because we have 400 points available, Greyfax is by far the strongest warlord. It's pretty ridiculous how strong you can get these bodyguards, especially at max level. So I'm just running a few keyword cards here. I've got 134 points left over, so we'll get the full 75% boost to our stats. And, I mean, you could run a lot of other things. I've seen people running like the Valkyrie, which gets pretty ridiculous. I mean, obviously if you bought the Baneblade, that thing is going to be crazy too. But yeah, we're just going to run this. I mean, because we're facing the same deck every single time, it's really not difficult at all. To get through the matches, the only thing that changes from match to match is the Warlord, which does make a pretty big difference, but it's really not challenging no matter who you're facing. So, in this match, we're up against Commander Farsight, running 6 bodyguards. There's the Krutox Rider. So I'm just going to drop this big thing down. I didn't have this in my collection for a long time. Finally managed to get a hold of one. And so, because everything's at max level, we get to see this thing with 2 traits. It's got Regeneration and Big Game Hunter, and a pretty ridiculous stats. This thing is one of the most annoying bodyguards that they have, because it has 4 shields. That's the only reason I'm running this thing with Barrage, so you can knock out the shields a little bit more quickly. Which weather type it is at the beginning of the match is different each game, and so that actually affects, well, what the starting turn is going to look like. Now, we're running a very low initiative deck, so the AI is always going to be taking the first turn. They have this new Devilfish card, which is pretty annoying. It's got Taunt and a massive amount of health, and at max level, Taunt really reduces damage by quite a bit. They're also debuffing both my ranged and melee right off the bat, so we're going to be dealing less damage. It's sunny now, so that's the one that increases your ranged attack, but then after sunny comes cloudy, which reduces your ranged attack by 30% and increases your melee attack by 30%. You can see that here if you just tap on the cards. But because of the reduction in ranged attack, that's why I'm using all these bodyguards with melee attack. So I've seen people running, ranged only units, but it's really frustrating to do that with the weather, because then some turns you won't be able to attack at all. You'll just be forced to ready, and I do not like readying, so I'm just splitting my attack types between ranged and melee, so I'm always able to attack every single turn. This is the stormy weather, I guess, which completely disables the ranged attack. And then after that, it cycles back to sunny again, so we're going to get a massive boost to our ranged attack. Now, we have been debuffed, but still, we can deal a pretty good amount of damage here. And with the Barrage, we'll be able to take out the Krutox Rider and knock out another shield. And yeah, it still takes a few turns to get through these guys. And with Commander Farsight, who, by the way, got a new model recently from Games Workshop. It's not in the game. It'll probably take them a while to add it. I'm sure they'll do it eventually. Still got the old model here. But yeah, Farsight and Shadow Sun are a little annoying because, of course, once the final card deploys, they will be healing any remaining bodyguards back up to their max health. So you do want to kind of watch out for that. So typically with this, I mean, these bodyguards that I'm running here, like this big knight and then Inquisitor, Karmazov, they just have so much health that they just never die. The enemy just does not have anything strong enough to destroy them. This thing might die, and then you can just replace it with something else. Oh, it's Stormy again. We can't use range, so we'll go melee. And this will bring out their final bodyguard, and it'll be their turn. It'll be Sunny, so that'll be increasing the ranged attack. We'll see if they actually use their ranged, or if they just decide to ready. Well, they're boosting up their ranged attack, so yeah, this is another benefit for not going all out with the ranged. It actually allows the AI to use their ranged attack, which then you can counterattack and just blow everything up. Like, if you have too much ranged, then sometimes the AI will just never attack, and that drags the game out even more. So this was actually perfect. I'm able to wipe out the entire enemy line before the final Warlord deploys. Now, his Furious Charge here will knock out the robots. I'm attacking with one less unit here. It's cloudy, so we're getting a boost to our melee attack, though. And because this thing has Big Game Hunter, it's only 45% boost, but I think it should be enough to knock out Farsight in one turn, so this was actually, yeah, just one-hit KO right there. This match actually went more smoothly than the average match, I think. But yeah, I mean, I included, what's his name, Belisarius Call in there, who could heal those guys up even more, and, I mean, but it's not even necessary. Like, you don't even need healing when you're just facing the same bodyguards, and they're not even running anything big. I mean, they could be running, like, I don't know, Long Strike or, you know, those gigantic battle suits. But nope. I did include one, the Dune Crawler, which has precision shot. One thing to note, even if it's stormy, and you deploy, like, the Dune Crawler, normally it'll disable the ranged attack at the start of the turn, so precision shot actually activates before that, so even if you deploy something with precision shot on a stormy turn, it'll still get that initial attack in, which can be useful. But yeah, that's the campaign. Again, pretty boring. You do get copies of the Leman Rust if you're a newer player. This is a nice card. I have mine at level 12. But yeah, next campaign coming up in... Wow. How long are these campaigns now? It seems like the campaign schedule has changed too recently. Like, it used to be one campaign is 2 days, and then the next campaign of the week is 3 days, but now we've got like 2 campaigns that are like 3 days each, and like they're starting a day earlier. It's hard to keep track of things. But yeah, next campaign we'll be playing as Tyranids. So we'll see if we get any new Tyranid cards then. But yeah, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.